different from me. When I pulled inside that garage, she said, exactly what Jesus Christ was behind. That's exactly what she said. But then she said it in a way, she says, George, there's a pizza, right? And I said, yeah, it was a pizza. And that's how I left to go with that. But I'm sitting here as a grandfather's father, as George Anthony, and as a guy who smelled the smell before years ago. And you just never forget it. I haven't set my nose down on it. And I'm concerned. Where this is leading, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about that, but I had bad vibes the very first day I got that car. I can be straight with you, and I hope it stays in the confines of us free. I don't want to believe that I have raised someone or brought someone in this world that could do something to another person. I don't want to believe that. If it happens, all I can do is ask. You guys can please call me so I can prepare my wife who's going to kill her.
And tonight, a hometown Navy officer gunned down in cold blood. No, not in Iraq, not in Afghanistan, in upscale Virginia suburbs. And the tragedy unfolds directly in front of the victim's two little girls, his fiancée and the family dog on a stroll in a quaint, pristine neighborhood. Tonight, the manhunt. Who killed Navy Lieutenant Todd Cox?
We went from planning a wedding to a funeral, and it's just the same nightmare every day you wake up.
A fiancée desperate for help, speaking out after her future husband brutally gunned down. Naval Lieutenant Todd Cox went for a walk with his family. Out of nowhere, a pickup truck pulls up. A gunman walks up to Todd and fires at point-blank range, hitting Todd multiple times. The brutal murder right in front of his own fiancée and family. Now, his fiancée begs for just one tip, so justice is served.
I think for the whole family, we deserve answers, and whoever did this needs to pay for what they've done.
Good evening, I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us tonight. Bombshell in the desperate search for a beautiful 3-year-old Florida girl, Kelly.
The record, I don't know what the gentleman is, I still don't know. I'm sure you guys know by now. But hey, I look up for he's the best thing I said. I sat in the car for a second, opened up the passenger door, trying to bed that thing, and I smelled my own God. I tried to start the car for a second, and I said, no, George, there's something wrong. You gotta find out now. You can't do that. I told you guys, would you please walk around the back of the car and look inside the door. As I walked around, I don't believe I said to him, I think I whispered out to myself. That's what I thought. That's what my heart was there. Open up, I was in that bag. I did see a stain. I think it was right about the spare tires at basketball size or something around there. We had the same freaking feeling that I did.
Every tip that we get is out of state. Yeah, the FBI holds up, not local agencies.
I'm not trying to get sick. I've been cool. Right now, I'm just
we need a walk.
Just recounting what we went through made grandfather George Anthony physically sick. George and Cindy Anthony taken aback when they learned their little girl, their little granddaughter, has been gone over a month before Tatman Casey Anthony ever reveals it to them. Straight out to Mark Williams of WNDB News Talk 1150. What do we learn? You know, Mark, it's very rare that juries, much less us, the public, gets to hear the actual interviews that police make during their interrogation.
Well, Nancy, one thing about these bombshell audio tapes, it shows you a different side of George Anthony we didn't know existed. These explosive audio tapes just released, we'll hear them a little bit later on the show, are just mind-boggling. For example, he talks about pulling into the garage with his car. Actually, it was Casey's car. Cindy, his wife, coming out saying, and we're quoting, Jesus Christ, what died? Was it the pizza? kind of contradicting yourself. And George says, yeah, it's the pizza, knowing that it wasn't the pizza that was rotting in the back. Also, shockingly, they had to stop the interview with George Anthony at least once because he became physically ill when he was starting to think about the smell of death he received from the car, and literally threw up right there in the investigator's office, Nancy.
I'm going to go straight out to Dr. Lillian Glass, psychologist and body language expert, author of I Know What You're Thinking. Dr. Glass, from my own experience after a violent crime, I remember the smell of food literally made me sick. What is the mind-body connection that when you are facing a tragedy, you literally get sick?
What happens is you relive the situation, and all of a sudden everything just explodes, literally, because you have gone through what's like a sense memory. You're reliving the whole situation, and so that's what really made him sick, the reality of the situation.
Joining me tonight, a famed medical examiner, Dr. Joshua Perper, out of Miami jurisdiction. He's the author of When to Call the Doctor. Dr. Perper, it's great to see you. Thank you for being with us. Doctor, sure. Medically speaking, we hear George Anthony physically getting sick. He had to leave the interrogation. He got so sick, describing when he smelled the smell of death in the Tot Mom's car and his fear as they opened up the trunk. Please don't let it be Kelly. Please don't let it be Kelly in the trunk. What is the mind-body connection? Why does your body physically retch when you are upset or afraid or you hear shocking news?
Well, our body and our mind are really one unit. In the Western world, we divide between them. In the East, they recognize that they are one unit, and therefore, if you are upset, your parasympathetic system, nervous system, becomes involved, and people start to vomit. They become very pale. They become paralyzed sometimes. Those are the actions which you expect.
Dr. Perper, after many crime scenes and dead bodies I saw as a prosecutor, none of that, blood, you name it, never made me sick at all. But when it happened to me in my personal life, that made me sick. I think you're right. The way we view the mind-body connection is very, very separate. It's very compartmentalized. Everybody, we are taking your calls live, but first, let's listen to more of these police interrogation tapes. They are just released, and let me remind you, this is extremely rare, very unusual, that even a jury, much less the public, gets to hear actual police interrogations. Take a listen to grandfather George Anthony.
Where this is leading, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about that, but I had bad vibes the very first day when I got that car. I can be straight with you guys, and I hope it stays in the confines of us free. I don't want to believe that I have raised someone or brought someone in this world that could do something to another person. I don't want to believe that. If it happens, all I can do is ask. You guys can please call me so I can prepare my wife who's going to kill her.
When I first saw you that night, when I first came to your house, there was a mention of the car, and there was a mention of what you smelled in the car. Do you remember what you told me?
I believe that there's something was dead back there. And I hate to say the word human. I hate to say that. When I first went there to pick up that vehicle, I got within 3 feet of it. I could smell something. You look up and you say, please don't let this be. Please don't let this be. I'm thinking of my daughter and my granddaughter first. I glance in the car on the passenger side. I see your seats there. I see some other stuff around it. As I walk around to the driver's side, I put the key in it. I said, please don't let this be what I think it is. The record, I don't know what the gentleman's name, I still don't know. I'm sure you guys know by now. But hey, I looked at the door, he said, whoa, that thing. I sat in the car for a second, opened up the passenger door because I was trying to vet that thing, and I smelled, I'm like, oh my God. I tried to start the car for a second, and I said, no, George, if there's something wrong, you got to find out now. You can't take it away. I told the guy, I said, please walk around to the back of his car and look inside his hood. As I walked around, I don't believe I said to him in a loud light, I think I whispered out to myself, that's what I thought. That's what my heart was.